Lola, Winter Night here, and today we are back with some more Series 2 action, and today we are featuring my boy Sableye. This thing is so good right now, it is so disruptive, and the main idea with this team is to use Sableye to disrupt the other team so you can set up. Everything here except for Amoonguss has setup, and Amoonguss is here to help enable the setup as well. Have a standard set on Volcarona here with the Water Terra and Quiver Dance. Dragonite is multi-scale with the Lumberry and Dragon Dance. It's also Flying Terra, which is amazing. You just get off a Dragon Dance, take that Will-O-Wisp, heal back up, and then start nuking things. Another set that I really like here that not a lot of people are using is the Booster Energy Calm Mind Flutter Mane. The reason that it's running Booster Energy is because I have it EV'd to outspeed Roaring Moon by 1 point. So when the Booster Energy is active, you will always outspeed Roaring Moons. But that way I can invest the rest in bulk, so it will take hits, get up the Calm Mind, and then just start nuking things. And then we have the Fire Terra Safety Goggles Iron Hands. Fire Terra, of course, is so we can dodge that Will-O-Wisp. The goggles keep us from going to sleep. We can set up the Swords Dance and then just do big damage, use Drain Punch to heal back up, and just keep going. But I got some good matches that really show off how Sableye enables the team. So we'll get into it. I'll show you guys what the team could do. But before we do, if you could, please like and subscribe. We're up over 500 subs now, and we're on our way to 1,000. So if you could help us get there, that would be amazing. But let's get right into it, and let's see it. Alright, so first up we have Alex with a very interesting team with Iron Thorns, Iron Treads, Roaring Moon, Flutter Mane, Rotom Heat, and Murkrow. So, trying to decide what I want to go with. Thinking Sableye with Volcarona to start out, just in case he leads Iron Treads. Then bring Iron Hands in the back, but I decide to lead Hands, that way I have the fake out pressure. Volcarona, use that to enable Volcarona to get off some Quiver Dances, and then we'll bring Sableye in the back. What I like to do is lead Iron Hands so I'm pressuring fake out, force the protect, and then I don't fake out, I just switch in Sableye. That way I can encore him into protect, and that'll get me 2 turns of setup. So it's very good if you can pull that off, and just allows you to start sweeping from there. So that's the general idea. You don't always need to lead Sableye. Sometimes it's good to just put on pressure, switch it in, and then go from there. So that's what I was going for with this lead here. But we'll see what Alex leads with, and then we'll go from there. So he does lead Flutter and Rotom. We have Volk and Iron Hands here. So trying to decide if I want a Quiver Dance here. Do just decide to go for the Quiver Dance. I don't think there's anything he could do to knock me out here. I could fake out Rotom just to enable that, but I don't want to take a lot of damage on Iron Hands. So if I can force Rotom to protect, then I can always encore at the next turn. So we'll go right out into Sableye. And we'll save that fake out pressure for later. So Iron Hands comes back. Out comes the Gremlin. They just go Dazzling Gleam, but as you can see, Sableye tanks that. They do just go Overheat here, which does do big damage into Volcarona. So if I would have Terra'd there, it would have put me in a lot better position. But we get the Quiver Dance off. Then we'll get a little Lefty's Recovery here. So from here, trying to decide if I want to protect to get a little lefties back. But I decided to just go for the heat wave. We'll go for the disable onto Flutter Mane. That way we don't have to worry about that dazzling gleam. The real play here would have been to go for another Quiver Dance, but I didn't expect them to protect Rotom in front of the Sableye. So Gleam gets disabled. We get off the heat wave. Get some good damage onto Flutter there. With the damage that Gleam did, I'm sure that it's Sash. So we'll take that. Another one will do it. So you just go protect and light screen here. Try to get a little health back before we start firing off attacks. They do switch over to Icy Wind. Overheat comes out again. So I'm thinking about firing the heat wave here, but then I reconsider and decide that I want a Terra here because they're going to get off the Icy Wind, so Rotom will be faster again. So despite being on low health here, I want to take the Icy Wind and then the Overheat and get the KO on this Flutter. So we encore the Rotom. That way it can't fire off any electric moves. Icy Wind comes out. So both Mons hang on here. The Overheat comes out, but it does miss, so that was fortunate. Heat Wave comes out. Finishes off Flutter. Does a nice little chunk to Rotom there. A little more lefties pop. And they bring out the Roaring Moon here, so they will be faster. They are attack boosting, so unfortunately we lost our Quiver Dance speed boost. But I'll try to go for the Bug Buzz here and just get off the Reflect to try to enable the Mons that we have in the back. They do go Flying Terra on Moon, that way they can fire off a big Acrobatics here. And they just go Earthquake. So Sableye goes down with the screen's Volt hangs on at 1, but unfortunately Rotom is faster now. So even with the Water Terra, of course Overheat is going to do the 1 HP. But Rotom does take another special attack drop. And now we can bring in Hands and Dragonite. So now we're pressuring Fake Out. Rotom's low, so I'm guessing he doesn't want to risk the Fake Out. E-Speed into Rotom. So I think about going, I do just go for the Protect, but he retreats on the Rotom. So the play here would have been to actually dance on both sides, go for the Dragon Dance and the Swords Dance. He does just protect Roaring Moon. But we'll get a little bit of chip damage into Iron Thorns there. And then get off the Dragon Dance. So Dragonite is multi-scale, so it can take one of anything that they throw out here. So we'll just go Ice Spinner into the Roaring Moon and Drain Punch into the Iron Thorns. Acrobatics comes out. Does a decent little chunk of hands there. Ice Spinner comes out and just takes the Oko. So good illustration of the power of Dragon Dance Dragonite there. Rock Slide comes out. Hands doesn't flinch, so gets off the big Drain Punch here. That'll put it in E-Speed range. And then Rotom's got to come back on the field. It's also at very low health here. So I'll just E-Speed the Thorns and go for Swords Dance on Iron Hands. That way if they do take out Dragonite, hands will be set up to finish off the game. Thunderbolt comes out. Dragonite tanks it, but he does get parried. But we have the Lumberry, so he'll nom nom nom. Bye-bye to the paralysis. Out comes the Swords Dance. Now there's not a lot he can do here, so we'll just go E-Speed and Drain Punch, and he will cancel the battle. So GG's to my opponent. Alright, so next up we have Blast 05 with the Flutter Mane, Roaring Moon, Iron Hands, Gyarados, Volcarona, and Amoonguss. So looks like he has some setup on his squad too here. So trying to decide what I want to lead into this. I'm thinking he's gonna lead Flutter Mane, as it is pretty good into a lot of my squad. But we'll just lead with Dragonite and Iron Hands here. Bring Sableye in the back. Then trying to decide who would be better here, Volcarona or Flutter Mane. Decide to just go with Volcarona. That way I have some damage into Amoonguss if I need it. And also into the Roaring Moon if he decides to Terra something else, because Bug Buzz will do huge damage. So he comes up with the Volcarona and the Gyarados. So first turn here, I'm expecting at least a Quiver Dance, possibly a Quiver Dance and a Dragon Dance. So I consider Dragon Dancing myself as well as Swords Dancing. I could fake something out, most likely Gyarados, because I don't want to risk the burn on the fake out into Volcarona. So I'll just go Dragon Dance, and then we'll just go straight for the Wild Charge into Gyarados. Despite being intimidated, if we can do big damage to it, that will put us in a great spot. So he does Terra Volcarona here. I'm not sure about this play. I guess he was covering for the Flying Terra Blast into that slot, but it just leaves him weak to the Iron Hands now. So he gets off the Quiver Dance. We match it with the Dragon Dance. And then he surprises me here with the Thunder Wave. So Thunder Wave Gyarados coming out, but luckily we have that Lumberry. So we'll just nom nom nom. Bye bye paralysis. Wild Charge comes out. And Hands doing the dirt here, takes Gyarados out with one hit. That's what I'm talking about, handsy. So now we're sitting in a good position. He does have the Quiver Dance on Volcarona. So he brings out Flutter here, so he is threatening damage into both slots. We do have the multi-scale here, so we can take one hit from Flutter Mane. So I'm trying to decide if I want to Terra or not. I'm thinking the better Terra is going to be Iron Hands here, so we'll just E-speed the Volcarona and then Terra Hands and go Wild Charge into the Volcarona. So Fire Terra comes out. Make sure our hand stays nice and safe here. But they get the call right. Go Protect here. So E-speed into the Protect. Dazzling Gleam comes out. Does a nice chunk to Dragonite even through the multi-scale. It's because it's a crit, of course. So Wild Charge comes out into Protect as well. So that's another thing you want to be careful. This goes for any screen team. Just be careful of crits. Crits can always ruin your day. So you want to play it safe, even if you have screens, if you can. Because it's never fun to lose on a crit. So too bad we didn't set up another Dragon Dance there. That way we could have got a big Ice Spinner off into the Flutter here. But we'll go E-speed, get a little chip on the Volk here. It'll just go Fiery Dance into the Dragonite. Guess he wanted to make sure that it went down this turn. Flame comes out, we'll finish off Dragonite. Hand still a bit above half HP. But we did switch our targeting here, so we do go into the Flutter. After the Intimidate, it only does about 60. But now we could go into that boy Sableye. So he did just Protect on his Volcarona here. So we are threatening Encore into that slot. But I decide I want to just go Disable into the Flutter. That way it'll shut down that Gleam and then we'll just finish it off here if possible. So it goes Protect on Volcarona. And Protect on Flutter Mane. I'm not sure about this call because I guess he thought we had Fake Out on Sableye, so he was covering for that, which is a smart play. But we don't have Fake Out, but we do have Encore. So now he is in trouble. You just got to decide which slot we want to Encore here. So I decide I want to Encore the Flutter because it is threatening big damage onto Sableye. And I want to be able to try to get my screens up or continue to Encore Disable. So we'll just Encore Flutter into Protect. He will Quiver Dance, which was definitely a bad call because now he's going to be stuck Quiver Dancing for the rest of the game. So we just dance ourselves. Get up the big Swords Dance. So now his Flutter is Encored into Protect, so he's gonna have to switch here. So I take a look, try to decide who he's got in the back. I'm guessing that it's Roaring Moon here. So we'll just encore the Volcarona and then go Drain Punch into the Flutter slot. That way we could try to get some health back on hands. If he doesn't switch out, we're not in a bad position because Volcarona will be stuck Quiver Dancing and Flutter will be stuck trying to protect. So safe play here. Even if it is something else like Amoonguss, we'll get at least a little health back. But we get the call back. The shiny Roaring Moon comes in. Hit the encore on Volk. So he'll give us an encore of that Quiver Dance. And then Drain Punch coming at you, Moon. So with the Swords Dance, this thing never stood a chance. Brahma Luna goes down. Iron Hand's back to almost full health. So with the recovery now, hands can take anything that Flutter sends out. Just want to check the stats. He is highly boosted, but stuck into Encore. So just go ahead and disable the Volcarona. That way it's got a struggle. So Gleam comes out, Sableye tanks that, as does Hands. Wild Charge comes out, and it will finish off the Flutter. So he does have one turn of Encore left. So I will be able to attack after this turn, but of course nothing stopping me from just encoring him again. So we'll go ahead and get our light screen up here and go for the Wild Charge. So he'll go for the struggle here, take a good bit of damage to himself. Wild Charge comes out and it will finish it off. So as you can see, Sableye being an absolute menace to society here. And that's why it is so much fun. You guys really gotta try this team out. GG's to my opponent. So as you can see, Sableye as a champ really enables this team to function, and it is such a good counter into the Paradox Mons. Being able to disable the strongest moves, encore them into protects, that sort of thing is such a good, it's just so good. And also having the dual screens is really good. I normally don't like playing with mons that don't have at least one attacking move, but this Sableye set is so good that you could definitely get away with it. So give it a try. If you do, let me know what you think. But we'll see you in the next one. Peace.